I guess I was well taught to be that way, I guess. All right, now on to page 2. Not with Paul Harvey. There are certain times when God moves in very special ways. That God brings the fire upon people, okay? Fire, as we know, does something special. It purifies. How many of y'all take a fire bowl of water to purify it? To get rid of the dirty stuff in it. All the chemicals.
I drink tap water.
Dakota's a little special, I'm sorry. Yeah, our water's pretty nasty. It consumes. Just like a fire to burn a house to the ground. It consumes it. It motivates you. If I put my hand in the fire, it's going to motivate me to get that hand out of there pretty darn quick. And it shows final judgment. If you're in that house and it burns down, you met your judgment. You either went to hell or heaven. I'm sorry. That's where you're going to go. Once you done burned up to ashes like that, there ain't no raising you from the dead. And if you do, I'm running the other way. Because it ain't you. Because once you leave this body, you're with the Lord. You ain't no longer here. You see, throughout Scriptures, we find that God has responded by appeared in the form of or as being likened to the fire. In every case, fire is seen as a symbol of God's purity and holiness. Just like when he used the bush, when he spoke to somebody. What was that bush doing? Exactly. You know, Satan tries to use God's fire. That's why he's down in hell burning up. He caught the wrong part of the fire of God. We're going to go to Genesis 15, 17, and 18. As it came to pass that when the sun went down and it was dark, behold, a smoking furnace, as a burning lamp that passed between those pieces. In the same day the Lord made a covenant with Abraham, saying, Unto thy seed have I given this land, from the river of Egypt unto the great rivers. The river, Euphrates. Sorry, my tongue got a little tied. And it came to pass, when the sun went down, it was dark, that behold, there appeared a smoking oven and a burning torch that passed between those pieces. Okay? On the same day the Lord made a covenant with Abraham, saying, To your descendants I have given this land, from the river of Egypt to the great river, the river Euphrates. In this scripture, God, as a flaming torch, passed between the two pieces of Abraham's sacrifices, confirming his covenant with him. Here the fire speaks of God's purity, holiness, and reliability. Okay, let me tell you a story. There was a musician tuning his instrument prior to a concert. This is something I do a lot after a concert. I got to tune my guitar back up because it comes out. He held it up for a few seconds before a flaming fireplace. And then they asked why he did this. He replied, I can't seem to get any music out of it when it is cold. In a similar way, God's children cannot produce music heartily. And you can't do it when you got a cold heart. You got to get warmed up by God. Just like when y'all was up here praying, the Spirit's moving strong, y'all's hearts is warmed. You let God flow through you. You know, if I come up here and I don't pray or nothing, and I just try to get up here and do this, all I'm doing is saying words to you. It ain't done y'all a bit of good, because if I don't get one-on-one with God and let God come to my heart and touch my heart and warm my heart, y'all won't understand a word that I'm saying if I don't let God flow through me. People need to see the fire of committed constantly in the way we live. Okay? They got to see this when you're walking. See your fruits. You ain't very, very good fruits when you're saying those little slang words. Exactly. You got all the time represent. You got to be Christ-like at all times. Our wishy-washy lifestyle sends a message to the world that God doesn't really make a difference in our lives. If I'm going out cussing, have a beer here and now and there with my friends, or sitting down and I'm at a friend's house and they're watching movies that's got porn on it, or nudity, you should say, and I don't get up and walk away, or if it just says GD, you're not showing a very good lifestyle that God's living in you. They're going to look at you, and then when you do come up to them and say, you know what, if you let God take care of it, let me pray about you for that leg that's bothering you so bad, they wouldn't have surgery on it. Let me pray for you. They're going to look at you like you're stupid. They're going to look, you ain't nothing but a hypocrite. You're one of those Christians that claim they are, and they're not. So if you can't live the lifestyle of this, don't get out there and try to preach to somebody, because all you're doing is slap God in the face when you're not living His Word and doing it the way He says to do it, and then you're doing it the Satan's way. You cannot ride the fence. The fact that most people in modern day psychology simply don't find God and His church very exciting or relevant. I believe that largely due to the fact that the fire of God's purity, power, and presence has ceased to burn among God's people. And I have seen it. Churches these days, when I was a little kid, our pastor, God laid on him, took off, he ran the top of these pews. Y'all probably think I'm stupid and oh, that's old-fashioned. No, that's God touching somebody. He's just taking off. He's so excited he can't hold it in him. He's busted to the seams because God's Spirit is flowing through him so strong that he's got to do something. Used to, people would get up here and dance at these altars. We're playing music. We're bringing in God's presence through the music. They're up here dancing. Do you see it these days? All you see is these days is people back here in the back seats or front seats doing this. I wish they'd get done. I'm hungry. That's what you see these days. God's presence has left the churches today. These altars used to be full before even church started, people praying for the service. Do you see that today? No. I'm not blaming it. It's not just us. It's all churches. All churches are doing it these days. Churches I've visited recently. Just like when we went to this thing. We had a good time at the state convention. I went in there, they told us we had 25, 30 minutes to play for us to come in and do it. So I wanted to make sure that's what we had. And they go, oh no, I think you got only 20 minutes. And I go, well, that's not what I was told. And he looks at it and he goes, well, you got from 6:30 to 6:55 and no more. I'm like, okay. So you just put God's on a timer, okay? How can God work through you if you got Him on a schedule and you can't let His glory produce anything? Y'all see what I'm saying? Because they had the guest speaker going to 8:30. But they didn't want it too late for him. I'm sorry, if they come there wanting something from God, they would have stayed no matter what time that pastor got up and preached. I'm sorry. That's just me. And the Spirit started moving pretty good in our family, but we had to get down on our knees. Our whole group had to go down and pray to get rid of that spirit. And it wasn't the people that was in there being with the group that we was in, but it was the other members that ran the church that was lit. We used the church to this state convention. It wasn't part of the church that got a prophecy. So I'm not saying that our people was the ones getting added to it. It was the people that they was working, having worked for us. And they had such an attitude that it was already trying to hinder the spirit in there that night. So, like you said here today, we had to pray to overcome Satan, and he sure tried it the other night. And I wish everybody could have been there. Y'all missed out on a great speaking. Music was awesome. You missed out, that's all I can say. It was an awesome experience being there. But, you cannot put God on a timer. Just like they moved the time up to 10 o'clock here, so everybody can get out. You still can get out at 12 o'clock, just gives us a little more time. Like everybody wants church. Well, you got an hour. Hurry up. If you think it's got to be an hour, you might as well, when that hour hits, just going out the door. You ain't letting God touch you. I got to quit getting off. Shirley's going to tell me off after church. I'm sure she is, that I'm not staying where I need to stay. But it's okay. God meant it for something. Or should I say, or something, or that, you know, that stuff. Is that better? She hates that word. Okay. You know, it seems that our nation has made a bad habit of honoring people who deserve none. You know, I got one real quick about honoring. Here we go again, right? Me and Shirley just discussed this the other day, and I'm sure some people may get upset for me saying this. Y'all know what the president stands for. He's got abortion, gay rights, all this stuff going on. Yet there's this well-known pastor that we know of. It's on TV. Everybody loves this guy. Oh my gosh, you got to hear his sermon that Sunday. He did such a good job. He probably did. God may let him do it. But yet, he supports this president and everything, but he's still against gay marriage, okay? Don't get me wrong. But he supports everything the president does. If you do that, you support gay marriage, okay? So you got to really think about these pastors you're watching on TV. I mean, I really respected this guy, and now I don't. I'm sorry. I ain't going to mention his name. If you want to know, you come to me at church. I'm not going to do it because Clay's recording me back here, and the whole world's going to know.
I'm not afraid to say Joe Osteen.
You're right on that one.
Yeah, but assassinate
Yeah, he wasn't it. You know, we give acknowledgement to movie stars, okay? You brag so much about this movie star. He's the great. He is so awesome. He is so awesome. But do you see you go around talking about God like that? You really don't. Like we was talking the other day about some Claude Van Damme and all them. We was really bragging about how good these guys are. And they're getting up in age, but they still getting out here doing these fight movies. You know, we got to go around talking about God. You know, God can go around and kick Chuck Norris's butt all over this place, and he ain't gonna go get back up. He'll do a drop kick upside of his head, and he'll never see the end of the day. I'm sorry. And you know, don't get me wrong. There is a lot of people out there that's well known, and I'm sure a lot of you kids, y'all know what this means, right? Right? Who's into football?
Tim Tebow.
Exactly. Well, today it has gotten really, really popular for movie stars, for sports people. Oh, I'm for God. I believe in God and all this stuff. But getting out there, it's a big, big thing that's going on right now. But somebody like Tim Tebow, I believe he's true. He don't back down. Other football players was mocking him, and when they get a touchdown, they was going around doing that to make fun of him. Satan tried to attack him to make him lose his glory, where he wasn't trying to witness to people, because they can't really all the time just get up on TV and try to say stuff because they get criticized for it. Yes, he was asked to stop. He keeps doing this stuff. That shows who the real Christian is when it comes to sports people, movie stars, or anything. If they get up and just try to get on this little kick, yeah, I believe in God, I'm a believer. No, they're not. Anybody can get up and say, I believe in God, and go on with their way of life. You know, that says a lot for how our nation has fallen. It's fallen to pieces. You know, people need to see the fire, God's pure power, His purity, His presence in the lives of His children. Too often Christians live and react to life as though God were important, indifferent, and absent. Page 5. You know, folks, she's going to smite me, I know it. But you're supposed to laugh in God's house. You're not supposed to sit here like you're dead and not on a log. And I got to keep y'all awake so you don't fall asleep on me, because that would look bad on me. I'm not telling you. There are a lot of fakers in this world, just like we say about some of these sports people. Even in the realm of the spiritual life, God is not impressed with the false fire at the altar. He can tell the difference. He knows if you're saved. He knows if you're not. I'm getting dirty looks, y'all. Remember, look, I got the pants on today. She doesn't.
You heard that, Jerry.
Your wife is wearing pants today, I think. I'm sorry. I'm not laying in that same bed with that man. I just preached on that last Sunday, and y'all gonna cause me to fall in sin already? Really? Y'all didn't learn nothing. Now, he doesn't want you to work up something artificial. You know, there ain't no coming in, praising God, and then walking out this door. That's artificial. And you walk out and you do on your daily life and couldn't remember what happened in church. I don't even have a clue what they sang or what he preached. You know, all that's artificial if you can't get in here and get the Spirit of the Lord to move upon you, that you can use it through the week. And call it spirituality. He simply wants you to get real with Him and with yourself, so that the fire in the Christian's life will come only from heaven. Some folks seem to have a fake excitement about God. You know, that's what I was telling you. They come in here, you shout, "Oh, thank you, God, thank you, thank you." And I'm going to walk out and you're going to hear me saying GD all the time.
Right.
That's a little fake.
Oh, yeah.
They're excited all the time, but it's all smacks of put on. There's something wrong at the core. That's all that is a false heart. Amen. We don't want no false hearts in here. Hey James, do you mind to read 1 Kings again for us? I need them to understand that. Do 38 through 40 though. That's all I need you to do.
Okay. I don't have it numbered. How does 38 start?
It says, "Then the fire of the Lord fell and consumed the burnt sacrifice, and the wood, and the stones, and the dust, and licked up the water that was in the trench." Oh, did it? Okay. "And when all the people saw it, they fell on their faces. And they said, 'The Lord, He is the God. And the Lord, He is the God.' And Elijah said unto them, 'Take the prophets of Baal, let not one of them escape.' And they took them, and Elijah brought them down to the brook Kishon, and slew them all." The principle here is that when the fire of God falls in a person's life, bringing them to fever and full commitment to Christ, every provision of the false must be terminated. You know, back then they destroyed you. You use false witnesses on God, they're going to stone you to death. It ain't like these days. This is a good one. Man and wife are supposed to get married first, right? Then you have the babies, right? Well, these days, they have the babies, then they wait till they lose all that weight, then they get married, okay? But yet, whenever the little girl gets pregnant, they celebrate it. Back then, if it happened in the olden days, they're going to put you back and hide you so nobody knows that you're pregnant and with child. These days, they celebrate it. "Oh, I'm so excited, I'm going to have a grandbaby, I'm going to have a grandbaby." Was God in this? Did God want this baby here? Oh. Exactly. And that's how bad. You got to watch TV. Not watch what you watch on TV. It's getting worse and worse. All these reality shows. I know some of the kids, I've heard a few. I don't remember which one it was. They bring up these TV shows that they watch, and there ain't no God in that show.
No. Well, even Disney has transgender shows.
Wow.
Disney.
That's not good.
No.
And that's our little children. So you got to watch with your child. You got to watch everything they do. You know, if you hear them in there watching TV, peep in there and see what they're watching. It don't mean you got to walk up into the room. What's on TV? What are you watching? You could just look around the corner and you would know in a few seconds what it really is. And if it's good for them to watch. That's why we watch everything our kids do. You know, we keep an eye on it, because if they do, their little iPad or phone, whatever they're watching, is gone. If the fire of God, God's holiness, His purity, ever falls into your heart and life, that false gods will go. If you truly let God come to your heart, all this false stuff will leave. Your trashy habits will cease. And no place will be found for all that is not spiritually real in your life. Now all the ungodly stuff will flee. When you give your heart to God, you turn everything over to Him. Don't have a mind, it can't be a mind change. You do a mind change, you're still going to walk out of here doing the same thing you did. Matter of fact, I know a young lady that thought she was saved all this time. And the whole time it was a mind change. She didn't realize it until this year. And she truly gave her heart to God. I thank God that she realized it before it's too late, because she was at the age of accountability. And she was right doing things that she knew that was wrong, and she said she was not going to do them no more. And I'm hoping if any of our kids are this way, I'm praying that you realize what you're doing. That you don't keep on going out and doing these things, that you truly give your heart to God, not a mindset. All that is not of God will be condemned and consumed by God's righteousness. My prayer today is, Lord, that you let the fire fall. Let the hearts of our people burn once again with your holy fever for you. That all the world may know the one true God lives. Amen?
Amen.
I don't think too many of y'all got that. Hold on a minute. Let's go back. Hey, find Andy.